The History of Manufacturing in the City of Wayne. An Overview by Alfred Brock. Part 5. The Haroon Roadster. This vehicle and the other models were a touring car and a sedan manufactured by the Haroon Motor Company in the City of Wayne. The vehicles were manufactured on assembly lines that incorporated machinery and processes that had been put in place by the Prouty Glass Company, a carriage company, at their location. The Haroon Touring Car. The car's noticeable features are that they have tops closely resembling those made for carriages. The wheels also retain features of the earlier horse-drawn vehicles. The English magazine Automobile reportedly had a picture in the June 1999 issue of the rusting remains of a Haroon at a farm in northwestern Pennsylvania. It is believed that the wreck is the only remaining Haroon. The car was discovered by Rich Hall of Simpsonville, North Carolina. I have contacted the magazine and will report back later. Reportedly, the next big industry that came to town was the Anat Foundry. It was a malleable foundry. It was noted that it was enlarging its plant and that W.M. Simpson, Chicago, was president. The Anat Foundry Company in Wayne, Michigan, recently was incorporated, according to some writings that I had discovered, with a capital stock of $500,000 by John Anat and others. I found this general information regarding the foundry. It was engaged in casting products and received delivery from the Père Marquette Railroad through some agents in New York, which I have not been able to identify at this time. Various products were cast here, including, what I have been told, heavy items like manhole covers and various other items used for stamping and other metalwork that would be included in automobiles, washing machines, and other such durable goods. The Anat Foundry Company was listed as a Michigan Domestic Profit Corporation, and it was filed on July 8, 1929. The company's filing status was listed as automatic dissolution. George P. Anat, Sr. passed away in June 7, 1999, in Martin Memorial Medical Center, Stuart, Florida, age 86. Before retirement, he was president of the Anat Foundry Company in Wayne, Michigan. He was also a member of the St. Joseph Catholic Church, the Knights of Columbus, and the Order of the Alhambra. A note was included in the Marquette Corporation shipping history, and all that I found was number 41, Anat Foundry, Wayne, Michigan, New York City, casting plate. I found a quote to Graham Page Factory. It goes like this. My late father, born in 1905, worked for Graham Page in Wayne during the 30s, spitting tacks, which is how he described his job. A mouthful of tacks and a magnetized hammer were required to attach the fabric roof covering to the wood body. He claimed to have never swallowed any. Well, good for him, right? Here's the Graham Page working floor. You can see, not clearly, but there is definitely work has been assigned to individuals to perform over a period of time. Here's a 1930s commercial atlas drawing of the Stinson Wayne Factory, Stinson Aircraft Corporation. The service building is depicted on the south side, and a 6-foot chain link fence surrounds the buildings, outside of which on the north and west sides is a landing field. So that's where the landing field was. Now we're talking about the Stinson Aircraft Corporation. The Stinson Aircraft Company had operated in several Detroit area facilities since 1919, manufacturing several general aviation aircraft. At the height of the Depression in 1930, Stinson offered 6 aircraft models ranging from the 4-seat Junior to the Stinson 6000 tri-motor airliner. The Stinson Aircraft Corporation merged with E.L. Cord Corporation in 1931. The earliest depiction which has been located at the Stinson Wayne Factory in Airfield was a 1930s commercial atlas drawing the Stinson Wayne Factory, which we just saw. It depicted a large factory and smaller service building. Eddie Stinson did not live to enjoy the success of his company. Unfortunately, he died in an air crash in Chicago on January 26, 1932, while on a sales trip. At the time of his death, at age 38, Stinson had acquired more than 16,000 hours of flight time, more than any other pilot at the time. Pictured here is the earliest photo which has been located of the Stinson Wayne Factory from 1932 or 33, and is at a Stinson Model M inside the Wayne Factory. Here's a later photograph. It is another clearer and wider image of the interior of the Stinson plant. The date is March 6, 1941, sometime after the first photo that we saw. See interior view, and these are Stinson 10As on the Stinson assembly line. Note the number of airplanes in production. Note the extensive array of electric lights. This is the earliest known photo of the Wayne Stinson Airport. It was a major portion of which was in the area now known as Romulus. However, it was known as the Wayne Stinson Airport. One of the illustrations pictured here tells us about a classic incident that shows the first Detroiter biplane crashing through a hot dog stand. This was the incident that motivated the perfection of an emergency parking brake. As the story goes, Eddie was forced to prop by hand, so he left his passenger inside to mind the throttle. When the engine started off with a roar, the excited throttle watcher, instead of reducing the RPM, shoved the throttle to wide open, and that's when the plane met the hot dog stand. Eddie was out a good propeller and some cash because he had to pay for the stand, but nevertheless, a parking brake was rigged up very soon afterwards, and it's yet another invention attributed to a manufacturer in Wayne. Shortly after that, parking brakes were included on nearly all airplanes, so Mr. Stinson did a great work for a lot of people. The Stinson L13, which was sometimes known as the Grasshopper, like some other aircrafts of its type, was a U.S. military utility aircraft first flown in 1945. It was developed when Stinson was a subsidiary of Consolidated Vultee, and rights were not included in the 1948 sale of Stinson to Piper. Mass production was therefore undertaken by Convair, which built some 300 of them. And these airplanes were also constructed in Wayne. Another notable contributor to manufacturing Wayne was design engineer Edgar Lesher. He had worked at Douglas Aircraft in Santa Monica, California as a stress analyst on the Douglas C-54 and Douglas A-20 programs. Preferring a university career, in 1941 he accepted a job at Texas A&M College. There he taught ground school for the civilian training program and earned his pilot's license. The next year he returned to the University of Michigan as a faculty member in the Aeronautical Engineering Department. In 1945, he took a leave of absence and worked at Stinson Aircraft Company in Wayne, Michigan. At Stinson, he worked on the Stinson L5 Sentinel, the Stinson L13, and the Stinson 106 Skycoach. The Skycoach was a four-place aircraft with a pusher propeller. Now what we're looking at is this 106 Skycoach. Fine-looking airplane. And this ends Part 5.